See, you all know that English grammar, it has a few things to learn, and that things will be learned by you very soon. And the topic for you for today is types of sentences. You have learned it already, right? You know what
Yes,
are sentences? You know the 4 kinds of sentences. You are familiar with the phrase and you are familiar with the clause, and you need to learn what are the three different types of sentences, and what is a main clause, what is a subordinate clause, what are called subordinating conjunction, and what are called coordinating conjunctions. These are the topics to cover now for us. Okay, so let us learn once again. Ready?
Yes,
Are you all ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let us learn the 3 types of sentences. Before starting the 3 types of sentence, let me start from the very base called phrases. Okay, you are familiar with the word phrase. To phrase something, okay, to say something, to write something, we need words, right? So before asking you what is the phrase, let me ask a question. What is called a sentence? Amal Anthony Johnson? Amal, what is a sentence?
ma'am.
Can you define a
Group of words.
sentence? Yes, point number 1. Very correct. It is a group of words. Okay?
It makes a proper sentence.
If it is a sentence, it must have a what? It must have a subject and predicate.
Object.
Okay? A sentence is a group of words. It must have a subject and predicate. Amal, what is the next point? What is the next point? It expresses a complete thought. We have 3 points today. How to define a sentence, Amal? A sentence is a group of words. It has, okay, it must have a subject and predicate. Okay, next point. One more. It expresses a complete thought.
Sentence.
Okay, it expresses a complete thought. So what is a sentence, Anthony Babu?
A sentence is a group of words.
It is a group of words.
It has a subject and a predicate.
It has a subject and predicate. It expresses a complete thought. So all these points are okay. So we can call such group of words with a subject and verb and which expresses a complete thought. We can label it as a sentence. It should begin with a capital letter and end with a full stop or a punctuation marks like a question mark, or it can be like a exclamation mark and all. Okay, so we can call it as a sentence. Clear? A sentence is clear. So sentence is clear. So let us start from a phrase. And grouping phrases, we can make a clause, and by grouping clauses, we'll be able to construct beautiful sentences in English grammar. Okay, so the basic unit of a sentence is a word or a group of words or a phrase. Clear? Am I clear? So let us begin from a phrase. Let us begin from a phrase. What is a phrase, children? You have learned once. But tell me, can anybody?
Part of a sentence.
No. Okay, you can call it as a part of a sentence, but not fully. Okay, so can anyone define a phrase? Can anybody tell me, like I have said 3 points under sentences. Okay, so children remember, I have shared 3 points under sentences, right? A sentence is a group of words with the subject and predicate, and it must have a complete thought in it. Okay, then we can call it as a sentence. So what is a phrase then? Can anybody tell me? Yes. Phrase is a group of words. First point is very clear. Yes, Hessa?
Ma'am, that shows a concept or topic.
That shows?
It does not have a complete sense.
A concept, a unit of concept. Okay, I agree. So a phrase is a group of words, and the most important point, it does not have a verb. If you search for a verb in a phrase, you won't be able to find a verb from that. Okay, so no finite verb. It does not have a finite verb in it. So let me tell you the first point. A phrase is a group of words. It does not have a verb. Especially, it does not have a finite verb in it. And what is the next point? Is it complete? A phrase is a complete one? No, it is incomplete in meaning. Point number 3, it is incomplete in meaning. Okay, a phrase is a group of words which does not have a verb in it, incomplete in meaning. My third point is incomplete in meaning. What is the next point? What can be? Can anybody guess?
It contains clause.
No.
It stands by its.
How can it be? It contains a clause. It can be a part of a clause. It can be a part of a clause. Okay, it can be a part of a clause. Agree. Agree, Isa. Isa, I agree with you. Next point. To get a complete meaning, we should fit this phrase within a sentence. Okay, if you want to give a complete meaning, you can fit these group of words without a verb. To get a complete meaning, we can fit along with the sentence. Okay, am I clear? Am I clear, children? Yes. So how to find out a phrase? A phrase is a group of words without a verb. It may have a subject. Another point. It may have the subject. But tell me the function of these phrases. It has a function. What is the function of a phrase?
Noun, verb.
Yes, correct. It is not a verb. It functions like a noun.
Gerund.
Okay, agree. Noun, gerund, verbal form. Okay. Adjective. Somebody said yes. Adjective. Very good.
Preposition.
Okay, okay. That's a part of preposition. One more. It functions. No, it functions. Participles can be used as a part of phrase. So children, remember, it acts like a noun, it acts like an adjective, and also it acts like an adverb in a sentence. Okay, what is the function of a phrase? A phrase acts like a noun. It can be in the form of an adjective. It can also act like an adverb within a sentence. Am I clear? And as Hessa said, we can, as I have told you, a phrase does not have a finite verb, but sometimes it contains a non-finite verbs like participles, like gerund, and like two infinitive forms. Okay, you can see the presence of the non-finite forms in a phrase. Clear? Clear?
Yes,
so a phrase is a group of words, incomplete in meaning, does not have a finite verb. It may have a subject. To obtain its meaning, it should be fitted within a sentence. Clear? And what is it actually? It acts like a noun. It acts like an adjective. It can also act like an adverb in a sentence. Am I clear? This is the function of a phrase. Am I clear?
Okay,
Clear? Okay, there are 4 kinds of phrases you have learned. You have learned already. There are 4 kinds of phrases. Noun phrase you have learned, adjective phrase you have learned, adverb phrase also you have learned, and also prepositional phrase also you are familiar with. Last year, we covered all these portions last year, right? So a phrase is clear. A phrase is clear for you. A phrase is a group. Let me repeat. A phrase is a group of words, incomplete in meaning. It does not have a verb, and it may have a subject. To get a completeness, it should be fitted along within a sentence, right? And also you are able to tell me what is a sentence. A sentence is a group of words with a subject and predicate and which expresses a complete thought. We are labeling such, if all these 3 criteria are okay, we are labeling the name sentence. Clear? So we got phrase, we got the difference between a phrase and a sentence. Uma, am I clear? Yes. Emelina?
Yes, ma'am.
Affin? Ahmad Affin? Concept is clear? Okay, then you define a sentence. Ahmad Affin. What is a sentence?
Sentence is a group of words.
Correct? You're right? Over.
Ma'am, he became stuck.
No. I can see his eyelids are moving up and down.
Sentence has a subject and
Very good.
semi-colon.
Expresses. Expresses.
Express meaningful.
Angelia Biju.
Yes,
It expresses.
Complete thought.
Very good. It expresses complete thought. Abhinant, what is a phrase?
A phrase is a group of words
Okay.
which are incomplete in words,
Incomplete in meaning.
incomplete in meaning. It doesn't have verb. It doesn't has verb,
It doesn't have a verb.
and it expresses its subject.
It may have a subject, not expresses.
It may have subject.
Okay. So let me move to Sriram. Sriram, can you define a phrase?
Phrase is a group of words which does not it is incomplete in meaning.
Okay.
It doesn't have a verb.
Okay.
It may have a subject.
Okay.
It can be found as a noun, adjective, or adverb.
You can see the presence of non-finite forms in it also. Okay. And to get a complete meaning, we should
Add it to a sentence.
we should fit or add it to a particular group of sentence or with a sentence. Okay, now we got a phrase, we got a sentence. Now here I have Shifana Shabi. Shifana, can you define a clause? We got a sentence, we got a phrase. Phrase is the basic unit and we got the complete set. Okay, yes Sriram?
And there is phrasal verbs.
Phrasal verbs are there. Of course there are. We are starting with a verb and ending with a preposition. Put on, put off. That's a separate category. Okay, phrasal verbs are separate. We have learned last year. Shifana?
Yes, ma'am.
We got an idea what is a phrase. We got an idea what is a sentence. Can you explain a clause now? As we started, both the phrase and sentences are a group of words. So here your chance. You begin. A clause is a
Group.
correct. It's a group of
Sentences.
no. Clause is not a complete sentence. What is a clause, Gus? A phrase, a phrase and a sentence over. Now, Shifana, can you tell me what is a clause? Arjun MR.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what is a clause? Ma'am, I put everything in salt water. I have to dig up to get it out. Abhinav Bijoy.
A clause is a group of words.
Very good. It is a group of words.
It contains a phrase. Contains phrases.
Okay.
It has a finite verb. It does not make a complete sense.
But there are. Okay. So children, can anybody tell me what is a clause? Yes, Lakshmi. You're raising your hands.
Short sentences.
A group of words containing a subject and predicate.
Okay. A group of words has a subject and predicate.
And act like a complex or compound sentence.
We can frame using clauses. We can frame complex and compound sentence. Okay, so let me give you a small description about a clause now. A clause is a group of words. Exactly, I said a sentence is also a group of words. A phrase is also a group of words. A sentence has a subject and predicate. In the clause, you can see a subject and predicate. Okay, in the clause, exactly like a sentence, you can see the presence of a subject and predicate, where in phrase it is absent. Okay, there won't be any subject and phrase. It may have a subject, but definitely it don't have a verb in a phrase. Okay, but at the same time, in a clause, you can see a subject and predicate. If there is predicate, definitely it have a, or it has a verb in it, right? It has definitely a finite verb in it. Okay, so what is the major difference between a subject and sentence and a clause? A sentence and a clause both are group of words, but a clause is just a part of a sentence. Okay, children, it's a part of a sentence, or it forms a part of a sentence. A clause we are using to form a part of a sentence with the subject and predicate. Okay, with the subject and predicate, where you can see that a predicate is with the verb. You can see the presence of verb in a clause. Am I clear? Am I clear? Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what about the meaning? I said a phrase, it is incomplete in meaning. What about the clause? What about the clause?
It states meaning.
It has its own meaning. It has its own meaning. That is most important point. A clause has its own meaning. Okay, and it forms a larger sentence, or it forms a part of a larger sentence. Okay, a sentence, it expresses a complete thought. A phrase forms a clause, but a clause forms a larger sentence. Okay, it's a part of a larger sentence. Comparing with a small sentence, to make larger sentences, we are using these clauses. Okay, am I clear? So we have got three different points with the phrase, clause, and sentence. What is a phrase, Ishal? Can you tell me what is a phrase?
Of words,
And
it does not have a verb.
Okay, louder.
It may have a subject.
Okay. What about the meaning? Is it complete?
It is not complete in
It
meaning.
is incomplete in meaning.
Complete in meaning.
Okay, to get a meaning, what we want to do?
We should fit it with a sentence.
Okay, these are the examples, or these are the points that you should remember when we discuss about a phrase. Now, Tanmay, tell me, what is a clause? Tanmay, are you there? No. Uma, yes, define a clause.
A clause, it makes a sense.
No, start from how it is formed.
Okay. It's a group of words.
Very good. It is a group of words.
And a phrase forms a clause.
Okay, that is not required.
Okay. And
in a phrase, you cannot see a verb. What about a clause?
We can see a verb.
That means?
So it is complete in sense. I mean meaning. And
okay, let me ask Prajita. Prajita, define a clause. A few points said by Uma was very correct. And what about you? Can you add something?
Yeah, it has its own meanings.
What about the verb?
It is finite. It has finite verb.
Okay, which shows that it has a
It has a predicate.
Predicate. If the predicate is there, you can see the presence of subject also. So a clause has a subject and predicate. Okay, a clause has a subject and predicate. Okay, then what is the function of a clause? Anand?
It makes a larger sentences.
It forms a larger sentence, or it is a part of a larger sentence. So Amna Sharan, what is a sentence?
A sentence is a group of words.
Where were you, Tanmay? I asked for an answer. Tanmay, you finished your lunch and came? Okay. Okay. Amna, tell me.
Contains subject and predicate.
Okay.
It gives us a complete thought.
Okay, so you got the difference between a phrase and a clause and a sentence, a phrase and a sentence. Clear? Do you have any doubt with these 3 points? Phrase, clause and sentence. Got the idea, Angelia? Clear? Is that clear for you, Angelia?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt, Nelvin?
Ma'am.
Nelvin? Shifana? Yes, Shifana?
Ma'am, is clause a part of sentence?
Yes, it's a part of a sentence. Because by combining 2 or 3 clauses together, we'll be able to make a larger sentence. Okay. Okay. We are planning to learn it today. Okay, wait.
Yes. There are dependent and independent clauses.
We are coming back. So we have got a phrase, we have got the idea of a clause, we have got the idea of a sentence. Now we are planning to learn the 3 types of sentences. As you all know, we have simple sentences, we have complex sentence, we have compound sentence. So what are the 3 types of sentences, children? There are 3 types of sentences: simple sentence, complex sentence, compound sentence. So before moving into the complex sentence, we should cover 2 classes of clauses. Okay, so we are pausing here. We are moving into the simple sentences. You know, there are 3 types of sentence. The first type is called a simple sentence. What is the first type is called? First type of sentence is called a simple sentence. As the name says, you have learned 4 kinds of sentences, right? You have learned 4 kinds of sentences: declarative sentences, imperative sentences, interrogative sentences, and exclamatory sentences. These 4 kinds of sentences are coming under the first type of sentence called a simple sentence. Okay, a simple sentence consists of 1 subject, 1 predicate, and with a 1 finite verb. Okay, a simple sentence consists of only 1 subject, 1 predicate, and with only 1 finite verb. All the 4 kinds of sentences, such as declarative, imperative, interrogative, and exclamatory sentences, are under the first type of sentence called simple sentence. Isa Jivaraj? Isa? Isa? Where is Isa? Okay. Milan, what is the difference between an imperative sentence and a declarative sentence? How to define a declarative sentence? Milan? Define a declarative sentence. Unmute.
When declarative sentence show a statement.
Okay. And what is the format? I have told you there is a word order pattern for a declarative sentence. What is the word order pattern? Unmute and tell me. Unmute and tell me. What is the word order pattern of a sentence?
Can you repeat?
Declarative sentence, the word order pattern. We are starting a declarative sentence with a subject, and comes the verb, and we have an object. So subject, verb, object pattern. SVO pattern. Okay. We have a subject, we have a verb, and we have an object. SVO pattern. Okay. So this is called a simple sentence because you can see only one subject, only one verb, only one predicate. Okay. Only one predicate. So such a group of sentences, and also you cannot see a conjunction in it. Okay. There won't be the presence of conjunction in a simple sentence. Such a sentences are called simple sentence. What is a simple sentence, children? Anusha, what do you mean by a simple sentence? A simple sentence is a sentence, group of words.
It's in a form of SVO, subject.
It has only one subject,
one predicate, and
one finite verb. Can you tell me one example, Anusha? A simple sentence example. I have told you we cannot see any presence of the conjunctions used in it. Okay, conjunctions won't be there in a simple sentence. And it has only one subject, one predicate, and one finite verb. Now you tell me an example for a declarative sentence or a simple sentence, or you can make an imperative sentence, which is also called a simple sentence, or else you can make an interrogative sentence, which is also another simple sentence, and the exclamatory sentence, which is also another simple sentence. Can you give me an example?
The sky is blue.
The sky is blue. The sky is blue. Tell me the subject.
The sky.
Tell me the predicate.
Is blue.
Tell me the verb.
Is.
Very good. Very good, Anusha. Carolyn, another sentence. A simple sentence.
The Earth is a blue planet.
The Earth is a blue planet. Tell me the subject.
The Earth.
Okay. Predicate.
Is a blue planet.
And finite verb?
Is.
Rudra, give me one example for a simple sentence.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, she is beautiful.
She is beautiful. Excellent. A very good sentence. Okay. Tell me the subject.
She.
Predicate.
Beautiful.
Predicate.
Is beautiful.
Very good. Is beautiful. And the verb?
Is.
Okay. Abhinav PA. Abhinav. Simple sentence example.
He is playing in the ground.
Very good. He is playing in the ground. Okay. Subject?
He.
Very good. And verb?
Is playing.
Very good. Predicate?
In ground.
Louder?
In the ground. Ground.
Subject is he. Subject is he. You said he is playing in the ground. Subject is he. Once we remove he, then the remaining part of that sentence is called a predicate. So he is the subject. And what about the other parts? Is playing in the ground or in the grass, wherever it is. Okay, he is playing in the ground is the predicate, and is playing is the finite verb. So you can see the presence of only one subject, one predicate, and one finite verb. So this is an example for a simple sentence. Johain Jeevan, can you give me another example?
Ma'am, can I say?
Johain.
I want to say we cannot hear.
Okay, sorry Johain, it's not audible. So Aditya Anup, can you tell me one example for a simple sentence?
Yes, ma'am. He is running in the ground.
He is running. Okay, he is running in the ground. Okay, subject?
He is. Subject, he.
Very good. Predicate?
Running in the ground.
Only running? There is no auxiliary verb present in that sentence?
He is running in the ground.
Okay, and the verb?
Running.
Only running? Again?
Running in the ground.
No. Think about the auxiliary verb.
Is running.
Is running. Okay. Malavika, example for a simple sentence.
She is baking a cake.
She is or he is. Who is baking? Akhil or Malavika?
She is.
He always bakes a cake. Okay.
Subject, she. Predicate is baking a cake.
Okay.
Verb is baking.
Very good. I have Miss Yad here. Miss Yad, turn on your video. Miss Yad, your video is off. Nelvin, tell me one example. Simple sentence.
Ma'am, he's muted.
Nelvin, audio is muted. Please unmute your audio and tell me. Unmute. My son, you're muted. No way. Gokul, one example for a simple sentence.
He's swimming.
He is swimming.
Swimming.
Okay. Where? On the floor.
I know. In the swimming pool.
In the swimming pool. Okay. Okay. Now you tell me, Gokul.
He's subject. Is swimming is predicate.
Is swimming in the pool, you said. In the swimming pool, you said.
Is a predicate. Is swimming.
No, I want the right predicate from that sentence. He is swimming in the swimming pool, you said. Okay. So he is the subject, and what is the predicate, Gokul?
Swimming pool.
What is it? Once you remove subject, the remaining part of that sentence is called a predicate. Don't look at your mother. Look at me and tell me.
Is swimming on the swimming pool.
No idea. I'm not getting any idea. Tell me the subject. He is swimming in the swimming pool. Okay, he is swimming in the swimming pool. This is what you said. So tell me the subject.
He.
Agree? Okay. So yes. You please remove he from that sentence and tell me the predicate now.
Swimming on the swimming pool.
On the swimming pool, man, means it is actually made up of glass. You will be skating on the glass swimming pool, right? Like ice skating. Abhinav and all, you're very expert in skating, right? So he is laughing at me. So on the swimming pool means like a ice skater, you may be skating on the swimming pool.
He's swimming on the swimming pool.
On again, on.
He's swimming in the swimming pool.
Okay. Now you tell me sentence. Predicates.
He's swimming on the swimming pool.
Again, on.
He's swimming in the swimming pool.
Tell me the predicate.
He is swimming on the swimming pool.
Same mistake. Do you have a paper with you? A pen with you? Write down and tell me. You won't make any mistake after that. All others are keeping their hands on their cheek and sitting. What is this? On and in and now and how?
He's swimming in the swimming pool.
So you removed and you said that it is subject. What is predicate now?
He's swimming in the swimming pool.
Very good. Predicate. And tell me the verb.
Swimming.
Only swimming. There is no auxiliary verb.
He's swimming.
Give a good clap to Gokul, all of you. Please clap for him. Very good, very good, very good. Krishna Kripa, another simple sentence.
Joe is waiting for the train.
Joe is waiting for a train.
Yes.
Now lockdown time. Please don't go out. Stay home and safe. So tell me the subject.
Subject Joe.
Joe. Okay. Predicate.
Is waiting for the train.
Okay. And finite verb?
Is waiting.
Very good. So I hope that this concept of simple sentences are clear for you, because a simple sentence consists of one subject, one predicate, and one finite verb. Clear? It can be in the form of a declarative sentence. It can be in the form of an imperative sentence. It can be in the form of an interrogative, or you can make an exclamatory sentence. If it is simple, it has only one subject, one predicate, and one finite verb. So we'll be continuing in the next class with the same, and please prepare and come for a test in the next class based on transformation of sentences. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.